Hi everybody, welcome to the video. And today we're at the flea market. This is a Friday morning that I'm here at the flea market. At this flea market here, it is 50 cents to get in on a Friday. Thursdays and Sundays are the busiest days uh, for this flea market. And today, this Friday, was actually going to be a heat. They announced a heat, or they had a heat advisory. So, pretty sure that's why there's not so many people out. I mean, it was already hot when I got there, and I got there about 8:30 or so in the morning, and I think it was about 8:30. Probably more like 9 o'clock or so. But it was already hot, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these vendors that are usually here decided to skip out on today because of the heat. They're supposed to be that way Friday and Saturday, and it's not good for them to be sitting out in the heat all day, and it's not good for the product to sit out in the heat as well. Um, Obviously, depending on what they're selling. So the flea market's going to look a little more emptier than it usually is. And next week, I'll probably get out on a Thursday and show you what it's like, a little more busier. But here we go. Lots of clothes as soon as we walk in. I'm walking up through these different vendors. A lot of these vendors, I mean, I already know them. I know what they sell. And I know which vendors we'll be able to find good stuff from and which ones we won't be able to. Especially on lighter days when there's not so many sellers out. It's kind of easy to jump from seller to seller. The more often you go, the more you'll know about each seller and what they source, and what their prices are as well too. So usually on the first few tables here. Oh, and there's a couple of entrances as well to the flea market. So depending on which day of the week, it will determine where I enter the flea market at. There's the far side, the other side of that little circular building out there. There's another entrance over there. We call that the garage sale side because that's a lot of people that buy storage lockers will end up over there on Sundays. So usually on Sundays we'll start over there just because we don't see those guys a lot. So when you enter here on this side, we've got a lot of clothing, usually a lot of higher priced items. So you're going to have to sift through all the stuff. If you're just starting out, get into a flea market, you're going to have to learn the different areas. A lot of the vendors are in the same spots. It depends during the week too, because there's some vendors that have spots that are closer to the front, and then on certain days they have spots that are further away, and they pay for those annually, I believe. So a lot of these spots would be filled on a Friday. Friday's a smaller day, but usually there's a lot more vendors here on a Friday. So I'm circling around. Those first few vendors when I first walk in, I really don't find that good of stuff. But that stuff that's good to resell. But when I do find it, it's usually overpriced. So I usually end up not buying anything anyway. There are a lot of little tools at this one. Nothing very exciting yet. Come up to some more games. And the people you'll find, I don't know about other Goodwills in other areas of the country, city, state. Towards the front, towards the entrances, are usually where you'll find your higher priced items. And usually they'll I'm assuming the reason why they do that is because they're trying to get people as soon as they walk right in. They'll charge a little bit more for their items, since people are first getting there. They'll see it. I don't know, they'll capture their wallet or their cash with higher prices. So usually I just quickly scan through this beginning area. I'm trying to get towards the center. Actually, it's not the center right now. It's just to the left because Thursdays and Sundays it'll be this actual center of the flea market, but they don't have any vendors on the opposite side, so it's not really a center. So So we're pouring through here. This is a drive-in at night, so all these vendors, everybody has to be cleared out by 3 o'clock so they can prep for showing movies. And I've been coming to this flea market since it opened. I believe it opened in 82 or 83. And the drive-ins, I mean, we make them drive-ins for a long time here. So this guy here, this guy does have some stuff. I've sold some bar signs that he's had before. Nice guy, definitely willing to work with me. The last thing I bought from him was a Woodford Reserve, which is a whiskey brand. It was a light-up sign that I sold, and I got it from him for 20 bucks. Everything worked, checked out. Ended up selling that one for $2.25 on eBay. Kind of crazy to ship out because it was close to 30 inches in length and then about 15 inches wide, and of course it was delicate. It's a sign, has lights and everything, so it was challenging to ship, but I was able to get it safely to its destination. So here we go. This is I'm going to cross the right there. We see where that little gate is on this side. This typically on Thursdays and Sundays would be the middle of the flea market. So this is where I really was trying to get to. But you got to look at everybody. I mean, even the ones that I already know I'm not going to be able to deal with. I already know they're not going to have anything, or I already know what their prices are like. I'm still going to walk through and just take a peek. You never know what people are going to get. So, but this is the area I'm trying to get to today on Friday. And this lady, as I just walked by right now, they're there all the time. I don't think there's a day where she isn't there. So, and I bought some hats from her before, a little high priced, but I have purchased some hats. I wanted to take a look at this vendor here, but those two guys are just kind of there the whole time. So I come back around towards the end of my day, and I end up taking a look there, but there was nothing exciting. So. And I'm trying to move kind of quick because it is hot and it is getting hotter. So that's also challenging about flea markets is the weather. Here in California, we tend to have good weather usually year-round, and this flea market is year-round. Rain or shine, this flea market is always going. I'll tell you what, some of the best deals I've had have been in the rain. When it's raining here, especially this past season, where it was a very wet season for California, and the forecasts were just wrong all the time. And we would go when it said it was supposed to be sunny, then it was raining, and we would go when it was supposed to be raining, and it was sunny the whole time. So it was kind of bizarre. But this flea market is year round. A lot of people rely on this flea market, not just me reseller, but also these people that are bringing their goods here out. And you'll see a lot of these vendors that have, I guess, what I call like pre-made, or they're more like retailers, more like retail places. And I'm really trying to avoid those ones. Looking more for the people that are storage unit buyers, or garage, going to garage sales and bringing items here to sell. So I'm finding that right here. I'm about to take a look at some purses here, and let's see. I'm asking them for some prices and everything. I'm gonna ask them for some prices, and it's just a little high. But take a look at purses. I've been buying a lot of purses lately. I think I mentioned in the last video, I'm not really much of a purse guy, but you gotta take what the reseller gods are giving you. So, and if that's purses, well then I'm buying purses then, and I'm lucky enough to know, what's good, what's not good. And I'm pretty good at spotting. I'm pretty good at spotting what's genuine and what's not genuine when it comes to designer stuff. However, at the flea market, it is tough. It is really tough because there is a lot of fakes at the flea market, and you have to be careful. And I don't want to sit there examining products too much and offending the people that are selling it, because I may eventually buy from them. Swiss Army knives, really cool. Definitely will look out for genuine Swiss Army knives, especially the ones with lots and lots of tools inside of them. This guy was asking just a bit too much for pricing for me. Definitely good prices though. I mean, if you're shopping for yourself, the prices were really good, pretty spot on. But as far as for me to buy it and resell it, it wasn't in the ballpark for me. So I'm gonna keep moving along. And typically these vendors right here towards towards the front are a bit higher. My friend, one of my friends here, Lupe, she is here at the flea market, sells here pretty much regularly all the time. She's a storage unit buyer, and I'm gonna run into her a little bit later and buy some stuff from her. I purchased lots of Legos from her, and she doesn't specialize necessarily in one thing. It's whatever the storage units give to her. It also helps to know Spanish, and while I'm not that great at Spanish, I do know what the numbers, what they're telling me, and I can understand them. I just can't really speak it that well, so it helps to know Spanish here, just so you can deal with the vendors better. A lot of them do speak Spanish, and it is I wish I had developed my Spanish back in my day when I was younger, but I didn't. My sisters know Spanish, my parents know Spanish, grandparents know Spanish, my wife knows Spanish. I don't. I know it, but I can't really speak it, but I'll understand what people are saying. More clothing here, but there's hard goods here on the floor. I see some purses. Nothing really that exciting. But you can already see that sun just beaming down, not a cloud in the sky. Oh man. Not going to spend that much time at the flea market today. Plus there's not that many vendors, so I can go through this pretty quickly, within an hour. I got my towel. Make sure you're prepped and ready. If you're going to spend a day at the flea market, make sure you're ready to go. I recommend, covering up or sunscreen, sun lotion, and getting a towel, a rag that I was using, a cool rag. See some stuffed animals here. See a Star Wars, a Christmas Star Wars Stormtrooper Lego.
Star Wars 3.
And I asked him how much. It was $3. $3 for that guy, and then the other one I think was 10, so 13 for both. And the Lego Star Wars guy goes for 20 to 25, and then the other one goes for about $15. So, I'll get the day rolling with those buys. So $13 for those two items there, and the baby. I'm trying to pronounce it. Rodin.
Cool, thank you.
Rodian, I believe, is the name of the species from Star Wars, and that should make my money back, and then the other one will be in the profit. So not a bad pickup to start off the day. They're Star Wars, they're plush. It's Disney now, so that'll be a good item to put up. Two good items to put up in the store, and they're both brand new with tags, so that was also good. Yeah, pretty empty day. This is not, all these stalls are usually filled on a Friday. So when I got there, it was either that or people are on vacation, or summer break is coming to an end, so maybe people are getting their last minute vacations in. I know one of my friends who sells here. He's a storage unit buyer, and I know he's been out and about on vacation for some time, so I know I'm not going to see him around at all. So here we go. This guy's really, he's a really nice guy. He says great stuff. Prices are a little bit high, so you do have to be careful here. And I have purchased a lot of camera bags from him. The last time I was at the flea market, he was here and he had a bunch of camera bags. So I picked them all up for a pretty good price, and they're selling on eBay right now. So I came in to take a look. He still had some of those larger camera bags here, but they're kind of big, and sometimes camera bags don't really collapse that well. So I would need a bigger box for those, and I don't really feel like shipping those out. This is a Dooney, I believe, a Dooney and Burke. Yeah, Dooney and Burke purse, kind of old, kind of vintage. It looked a little worn out, and that clasp, that turn lock thing, I don't know. I had a feeling it might have been broken, so I went ahead and passed it up. If it was a Coach purse, I might have been a little more inclined to look it up, scan it, see if there's any value there. If you guys watching this video, you guys see that, please leave me a comment down below. Yeah, this is the hat. I thought it was just a hat, but upon further review, it's a mask. I was actually gonna buy this for myself, and I was like, is the mask on there? Nah.
Thank you.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he said it was $10 for the hats. I heard him yell out a price. So that's the other thing too. Here at this flea market, you need to negotiate. I mean, everything is. A lot of the prices are pretty high. We're in a part of the country, here in the Bay Area, California. Everyone thinks we all have money to burn, but so you got to negotiate. People charge high prices here. Not all of them. Some of them charge high prices, so don't be afraid to negotiate. And a lot of these vendors, they will price it, or they'll give you a price, knowing that there's a negotiation in there. There's wiggle room built into that price already. So don't be afraid to negotiate. Some people around here, they'll stick to their guns and that's it. And those people, that's their choice, and I won't be able to pay those prices, so I'll move on to the next guy. People that got the shady area, and they're sitting pretty. A lot of soap over there. Not what I'm looking for. I think right about here, I ran into someone. I haven't seen this guy before.
Yeah, I do.
But he probably spotted my cart. That happens quite a lot. People will be roaming around. They'll see what you have.
I don't really do too much.
They're not, they're not trying to. They're not trying to swindle you or steal from you or anything.
I don't really do too much cards.
There's some people that come to the flea market that want to sell. It costs money to sell here.
Around here,
I forget how
I don't know
much it is
anybody
for a
around here
stall.
that does it right
But some
now.
people will try to, they'll come buy their way into the flea market, and they'll bring stuff to sell.
A lot of
And
people are
sometimes
pulling out. I've been out
they'll be
there
looking for people
several
that are
years,
buying,
right?
or that look like buyers.
I
They'll
buy
probably
toys. I
take a
like
peek, see what's in their
toys,
cart, and they'll be like, "Hey,
computer stuff.
you're interested in this or that." This guy here,
Yeah.
he was
You want to
asking me about
take
baseball
pictures or
cards
anything,
and
or
stuff and football cards.
my phone number
Which
is,
I don't do that anymore. That's how I got my start, but I'm not really into that anymore. There's the value there just really isn't the value just really isn't there anymore, as far as I can tell. And unless you're in the high-end market, graded market, we ended up exchanging numbers there, and it could lead to me buying some more stuff because he said he had toys. So I am going to hopefully make a purchase from him in the future. And that's one thing that you'll learn is, or one thing you may develop, are relationships with people that have stuff to sell you, and they don't want to go through the trouble of selling themselves on eBay or anywhere. So they're more than happy to sell it to you, and then you can turn around and flip it on eBay. Yeah, hopefully everybody's making a profit in the process. I spotted some folding knives here. Nothing really interesting. A lot of rust. Um, there was some Nintendo Switches there. Regular Switch and a Switch Lite, which I'm in the market for a regular Switch. I want the bigger screen. I have a Switch Lite right now, but I am trying to buy a regular Switch. Actually, I looked at one of the knives and it was actually missing the blade, and the other ones just weren't. They weren't any name brand or anything, and they weren't necessarily very valuable. Yeah, this knife. I don't know if that was. Oh, that was like a letter opener or something. So
How much on the Nintendos?
So the prices were not bad on those Switches. He was asking 150 for the bigger Switch and 120 for the smaller one. And I was gonna pull the trigger on that, but after further inspection, the Switch would appear to be in great condition, but the joystick thing, they were missing the pads on top. So I would have bought it had the had the switches and everything been complete, but so move on here. And see a lot of clothes, a lot of clothing. And I'm not much into buying the clothes. I don't buy the clothes at the Goodwill. I don't really buy clothes at the Flea Market either. Although I have found clothes and I have resold it. This guy over here, big tool guy, lots of tools and stuff. I haven't bought shoes from him before, but I am cautious because I did find some fake shoes, fake Jordans there. And then it kind of makes me suspicious over over everything that he may or may not sell. I mean, is there any hidden fakes of anything that he's selling? So then I have to be careful, and if I'm looking at stuff. So generally, if that occurs, if I'm ever, there is a guy here. I don't know if he's on camera or not, but I don't really point him out. But he does sell a lot of fake stuff. That Titleist bag was nice, but I'm not really into selling golf bags. But he sells a lot of fake, like Apple knockoff stuff and knockoff watches, and it's not. He doesn't really tell you that it's fake, and he'll just tell you like, "Oh, that's the latest generation" or something. And I don't agree with that. And if you're gonna sell fakes, just come out and say it's fake, and sell it as a fake. Don't try to beat around the bush or maybe potentially lie to people about your item. So these guys are pretty cool here. I do a lot of deals with these guys. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do any deals with them today. There was just nothing really that I was. It was like a VR setup that I was interested in, but he was asking a little bit too much for it. So if he was asking 70, I don't catch it on camera, but it's a little further back. He was asking $70 for it, and said just make me an offer around that, but it was going for about 70 on eBay. So I told him, I'll pass on that. But he gets a lot of sells a lot of different stuff, but he does get a lot of tech stuff, computer stuff. So which stuff I like and stuff I like to resell. There's some jewelry here, some watches. You definitely wanna, if you're into jewelry and watches, going through all this, because you never know what's in those piles there. You can find some good stuff. Some usually sterling and gold is obviously always picked out of there, but sterling and everything is usually picked out. But sometimes you can find some designer jewelry. pick up this helmet. I don't buy it here, but I come back around and end up buying it. And the reason why I bought it was because it was from my old high school, local, my old high school, Independence High School football helmet, the Sixers. So I leave it behind right now, and I just want to go around. I still want to look. I wasn't 100% committed on buying it, but in my head I was like, I'm going to come back around and I'll probably buy it if it's still there. And if I still have cash in my pocket. That's always want to make sure you have cash in your pocket. There's an ATM at this flea market, but I don't like to pay those fees for the for that, so always make sure to bring cash ahead of time. We're checking out these guys on the side over here. Nothing really too exciting. There are some jewelry people over here on the side as well. And we're moving. There's still some people that are going to be setting up as well too. So coming around the corner, and we're checking stuff out right now. Coming around the corner again. Don't have too much to go through today, so it's nice and not nice because there's not a lot of product out there for me to go through. So, and generally, you know, you're not buying from everybody here. It's pretty rare that you actually can find something at every, you know, at most of these vendors. So usually you're only buying from a handful of these people that are here right now. So, you know, obviously the more people that are there, the more, you know, opportunity there is to buy. And, you know, doing a lot of walking in between vendors here, try to get to the items. Here we go. Got some electronics, some games. Again, nothing here. The heat is keeping everybody away. So next week I have to get out there, probably on a Thursday when there's a lot more vendors out. iPods just aren't really what they, you know, they still have some value, but people are asking too much, and you know, no way for me to make a profit on them. Those iPods, probably about $30-ish or so, probably for that iPod. Generally, you want the older iPod, the classics with the bigger hard drives. Let's take a look here. We got a bunch of laptops and everything. I think someone was trying to return a laptop to a guy and tell him it wasn't working or something. I think he was trying to do like a return at the flea market, which is why, you know, I tell people, if people are buying electronics, you can't test it there. I mean, this guy looked like he was buying it for himself, but if you're buying to resell and you can't test it there at the flea market, then make sure you look it up to see what it's going for parts and pay according to, you know, if you can sell it for parts or not working. Because good luck trying to get a return. I mean, you might. If you know some of these people, you know, some of them will, you know, not necessarily do returns, but they'll hook you up. You know, if you tell them, hey, I bought this and it just didn't work. You know, I know some people here, and you know, if something doesn't work, they will make it right. You know, vice versa too. You know, you got to help them out, and I've definitely helped people out here as well. You know, I hear of some estate sales occasionally. You know, some estate sale buys, and you know, it's not something that I really do. Where, you know, doing cleanups and everything, I don't have the capacity to do that. So when I hear about anything out there, then I will pass it along to any of my friends here that can make the, you know, that has the manpower to actually do something like that.
$1?
Okay, and the camera bag. Camera bags are good. I don't know anything about this brand. I didn't look it up, but it was $1, so it's a good camera bag for $1. And pretty much everything here was $1, the guy said. So I'm just gonna pay him $1 here. I'm gonna make sure I don't have any of my credit cards on camera. Nope. Don't want to flash that across YouTube. And we're looking at some purses. Let's kind of take a look, see what this guy has here. Just because everything's $1. Although, just because everything's $1 doesn't necessarily mean it's worth picking up. And I'm trying to get over to that white trailer, which is Lupe's trailer. And she has great deals, and she gets good stuff, and she gets really good stuff, and she offers great deals. So, and if you tell her, I really can't pay that just because I'm trying to sell online, she understands, and she's willing to work with you to move items. So, don't know where that guy was running from. Maybe he stole something. I didn't even see him when I was there. I'm seeing him now in the recap. Okay, we're coming around here. There's lots of hills and bumps here at this flea market. Everything was $1. This guy was saying over here. Everything on the floor. Straight ahead there, the guy's saying everything was $1 on the floor. And it was getting hot, and I didn't really feel like digging through all this stuff here on the floor. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for something to draw me in. I'm looking for something on the surface and I'm looking also at what people are picking up. Like, are people getting anything that's good? A lot of these people here are here every week, sometimes every day, looking for stuff, and so I want to see what they're getting as well. And if they're grabbing good stuff, then maybe I'll jump in and look for it. But I didn't really see anything, and just scanning the surface, I didn't catch anything either on there. So here we are over on this side. This is where I wanted to be, and I will end up making some purchases here. And everything on the floor on this side is $1. And I end up buying. You'll see a little bit later in the video. I do end up buying some remotes here, but I'm quickly going to scan through the dollar section. The storage units that she typically buys tend to be from like the 90s, from the 80s and 90s. I mean, I found some really vintage stuff here before, and it's like, wow, like stuff that I remember from when I was growing up or when I was in high school. I was like, geez, and in good condition too. Like, it's been sitting in storage. So here we go. I mean, she's out there hustling. She's getting her stuff sold. She's not going to hold back, or prevent a sale over a few dollars. I'm checking stuff out. Nothing really on the floor that was, really, really interested in. But I know there's a vintage clothing guy that comes and buys a lot of vintage clothing from her. You should find all this great vintage stuff. It's amazing. You'll see here on the table. Some glasses there, not really exciting to me. Just the belts. It's kind of cool, but not. Here's a Coach. This is a Coach picture frame. It's lucite picture frame or acrylic. And so I was like, all right, I'll pick that up. I know it's going to be a good deal here, so I really don't hesitate to quickly gather items up or make a pile. So definitely gonna pick up the Coach there. It's a well-known name. It's a picture frame. I see just a little camera, Game Boy Advance bag, but there's nothing in it. Pins, nothing exciting there. Much glasses. No. Nope. Pick up the Coach. What else am I gonna find? I'm gonna find some handcuffs. Now these cuffs don't have the key to them, but they're Smith & Wesson, made in the USA, and they go for about $30 for these cuffs here. So you definitely don't want to put your wrist in that, because I didn't find the key. So I asked her a little bit later if she had the key, but yeah. So definitely gonna pick that up. Again, those are older. I remember those from the 90s and 80s. I remember some of my friends, they had parents who were either police from the sheriff's department, and they always hit cups. This is a. Did I pick that one up? Or I think I found another one, Takamashi. It's one of those little digital pets. And I ended up picking up one. It doesn't work. I mean, I'm not sure if it works. I need to check the battery, but went ahead and picked it up in the deal as well, too. Just because that coach frame by itself is going to go for about $30, and then the cups are going to be about $30. Got this camera here, cameras. Some cameras do pretty well. These ones here aren't that great, so I passed on all those. From Spider-Man 2, I believe, like a dog, looked like a dog bag holder. Then here's a little portable TV, color TV. Back in the day, you need that long old antenna on it on the end, and I'm gonna go ahead and add this one to the pile too. By Citizen, Book Vision by Citizen. No batteries in it, but everything was pretty clean, so I took a chance on it, and I did already test that out, and it works. I just don't think the tuner works for some reason. So, but it does turn on. Yeah, battery compartment's clean. The antenna works. It's there. The antenna's there. A lot of times with products that have these antennas, you'll find them already. The antenna's broken off. So it's in great condition. So I'm gonna throw all this together, and I'm gonna walk around the table at this point. Some vintage old telecommunications, cell phones, pagers. Some of them do hold some value. You can't really pay too much for them, but I know I've sold those old Motorola flip phones, the Razors. Sold those pretty good.
Citizen.
I'm gonna look up that TV thing really quick. Just try to get a quick comp on it. But pretty easy to look up and pretty easy to determine if it's a buy or not. So, and I find out it's a buy. So we're gonna move on along the table, and as you can tell, she has a lot of dollar items on the floor. And then she kind of, as she moves over to the right, the items do get a little bit more expensive. Ultimately, the table is the more higher priced items, the higher dollar. So usually I'll tend to go, I'll buy more at the table just because it's already kind of been curated by her, and the value's kind of been determined already, and I just have to go in and confirm it with check it on eBay, check sold on eBay. Still looking here, a bunch of little phones, a belt buckle. I picked up this little voice recorder, Sony voice recorder. I haven't comped it yet, but threw it in the pile as well too. But these, voice recorders generally don't do very well unless it's name brand, something like Sony, Panasonic. Definitely look out for those and try to get them pretty cheap as well too. Battery compartment was completely clean on that. Make sure you're checking the battery compartments because some of this stuff's been sitting in storage. The battery's been sitting in there too with them, and they're completely corroded. Sometimes they're just jammed in there, and it's not worth it. Better to find out here and not buy it than take it home and find out it's completely corroded and not working. This is a Maglite flashlight. I do pick these up. They do sell pretty well, around $20, $30 the most. Brand new, found a brand new. Try to get them, $5, $10 and all that. They'd probably be $40, $50 brand new. But used are about $20 to $30 or so. And this one here, I just could not get the battery. I couldn't open it up to check the batteries. It was completely sealed shut. So, which leads me to believe maybe the batteries were in there and they're completely corroded, and have now sealed them inside the flashlight. So, we're moving on. So, some perfume. Some perfume can be pretty good, so definitely look out for it. Definitely want to look it up. Selling it is it's a bit interesting because now eBay has it on there where you have to sell it new. You can't sell used perfume, but some people still sell it. Partially. Still partially full as new, and it's a gray area right now. So definitely, if you're going to sell perfume, make sure it's new. If it's not new, I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but I won't tell you to do it either. So it's up to you. These little guys, I forget what they're called exactly, but they're for artists. I'm going to throw that in the pile because that's about $15 to $20 as well too. So I got a good collection of good items here off of Lupa's table, and it's usually the case right here. Whenever she's there pretty much consistently all the time, and which is why I don't even know when she buys these lockers, because she's there every day that the flea market is open. But she has a couple of spots. She has, I think there are 4 spots that she actually pays for there, 4 or 5 spots. And then she has this spot here on Wednesdays and Fridays. No, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday she's on the other side of the flea market. And it's kind of, she sets up differently on each side depending upon, because people come to the opposite side of the flea market to dig through boxes. Now, I didn't show exactly what I paid for all those items, or I didn't show my negotiation with her. It wasn't really much of a negotiation because she just said $35 and I paid for it. I said sure, because one of those items right there is going to pay for all of it, and the rest will be in the profit. So I didn't really bother any negotiation. The price was already right, but she's really good, really nice, and understands that we're all here to try to make profit, make money. And she said go through the dollar. There's good stuff over there. So she gave me a great deal on the other stuff. I was gonna help her out by hopefully taking a few items. I mean, I couldn't. It wasn't too much for me to take, but I'm going to go to the remotes and look for some unusual, unique remotes, things that maybe someone's going to be looking for in the future on eBay, and, they're going to be looking for a remote for a certain device. Go to eBay, look it up, and hopefully it's mine that they find. So I picked up a few remotes, nothing really exciting. Some smaller, unusual ones. So they're only $1 a piece. We'll see how those do. I think on the next table here, nothing really that crazy. TI calculators, all kinds of TI calculators. So not really a buyer of TI calculators unless they're really cheap, like $1 or $2. But I never find them for that cheap. So I really don't pick up TI graphic calculators. But HP calculators too as well. I mean, they're the financial calculators. They're good if they're a few bucks, but generally people will price them about $10, $15 calculator. Unless you find the Holy Grail, which is the 11C HP 11C financial calculator, and I sold that one for $100. So that one you can definitely pay up for because it does go for about $100. But these other ones, generic ones, I wouldn't. I'm not buying them at anything more than $5. It might be less than $5. So it's a little tiny Coach bag, but I couldn't really tell if it was real or not, and it was getting hot, and I'm gonna move on. And it's empty. It's empty here. Now that I'm looking back at the video here, it was very empty, and kind of surprising, but kind of not surprising because of the heat that we were going to be experiencing, and also too, it's coming towards the end of summer, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these people are out on vacation or enjoying the last few days of summer, while their kids are off of work, school. So usually there's people all the way up to this corner. They were at this corner booth over here last week. I ended up buying a Leatherman multi-tool as well as a Coleman multi-tool, brand new in the plastic still. Over here along the fence line, these I've never really purchased anything from these vendors before. There's not really anything there that I find worth it for me to sell, and some usually it's marked up. This guy if I remember correctly, this guy just did set up, and I see some Nike phone closets with Jimi Hendrix on it. Kind of strange. I ended up looking it up a little bit later just to see if that was even a thing. Jimi Hendrix on phone posits. And sure enough, it was. I ended up not asking the price because they were kind of small. So generally, when it comes to shoes and clothing, you want to buy items that are bigger sizes, because usually the bigger sizes are kind of harder to find in stores. And so, like shoes, 12s, 13s, 14s, or 10 and a half is the most common. So if you find like 10 and a half, 11, I would go down to low as a 9. And then anything lower than that, it'd be a tough sell unless it's a pretty rare shoe. When it comes to like clothing, like shirts and stuff, generally I'll start at XL and on up, and not really go below that, because then after that it becomes your product just tends to sit there for a while. Over here in the corner, really quick, just doing some lookups. Looking up things I've seen. I was looking up the Jimi Hendrix, foam posits. This is the up here on this part is the last row over here to the right of vendors here for Friday. So I'm just scanning. There's usually a guy. I don't think this is the guy, but there was another guy that does Costco pallets. He buys Costco return pallets, and he'll have a bunch of Costco stuff out there, and he charges really good prices for them. Like the luggage, you get a bunch of the luggage from Costco, a bunch of the clothing from Costco. And I mean, the prices are pretty good, and sometimes I buy from him just for myself. Not good for resale, but just good for myself, as opposed to actually paying for it in Costco and paying full retail. So we're going to the end. This end part usually really isn't that great. On Thursdays, usually I'd be shooting all the way down to the right to start heading to the other section of the flea market, but that is not open on this day, so this will be where I wrap it up. And I'm going to go back around and check stuff out here. Check stuff out that I had already seen and made a mental note of, and checking the prices, seeing if I can get it, for a better price, or seeing if I missed anything. It's always good to go back and double check. So I'm going to go back and double check really quick and scan through all these items that the vendors have. Otherwise, stay tuned. Here comes the recap with all the items I purchased today. So here are the items, a little bit of a deeper dive into what I actually picked up here. This is the Stormtrooper. Let me get the light fixed here really quick. There we go. Okay, make sure my camera's good. All right, that's Stormtrooper Star Wars Lego Christmas. Should be $20-$25. These Lego ones, they don't necessarily go for good money, but anything Lego Star Wars is good. Generally good. So if you're out there, even the minifigures, generally the Legos, and a lot of the troopers go for quite a bit because people build armies out of them. So definitely keep your eye out for Lego stuff. Does pretty well. And you saw I picked both these up for $13. This one here should make my money back. This goes for $15. And Galactic Pals. I don't think this was just sold at, this was just sold like at Target or something. So At Disneyland, I know they sell like the baby, like Lion King, baby, different baby characters like this, and a little cloth and everything. But this one here, this one was just sold like at Target or something. So pretty good sellers for the store, and they're Star Wars. Star Wars is popular. You didn't see me pick these up, but I picked up this Palm Pilot. Obviously, no batteries. I'm gonna test it out, just see if it works. It was only $1, so it had the stylus with it, so I thought that was good, and should be able to get at least, I don't know, for parts, maybe $5 to $10 for it. But just a cool little vintage tech, an old Palm device here. And then these are the remotes I picked up that she was selling all of them for each for $1. So I just thought they were unique remotes for devices that someone may be looking for. So this is a Sirius XM radio. I think it's just Sirius before they merged with XM. So that one. This Sony radio cassette remote, just a unique remote. This one here, I did look this one up really quick, and this one goes for about $10. Home Dock Deluxe remote. So none of these remotes are bolos, so if you just happen to be somewhere and they're really cheap, they might be good to pick up just to put in your store. And this Navi Pro as well, just a unique remote that I think I'm gonna clean them up for sure, and hopefully someone will need them. And then this is I haven't tested any of this, so this is the what do you call it, voice recorder, Sony voice recorder. So I did pick that up there. Haven't comped this one out yet, but it was cheap. I got it in the whole bundle. With this bundle, where's the other stuff for the bundle? The Gucci, where's that? Where did I put all that stuff? Huh. Because I have the Gucci and the TV. I know I didn't list any of that yet, but I'll have to. I misplaced it. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Which I'm just realizing right now. I completely. Oh, it's down here. This is my cart. One of my carts I usually take to the Goodwill, but it's kind of full with stuff right now. Oh yeah, here's the coach. Here's this the TV thing. So one of these will pay for the whole lot, and all this other stuff is just profit. So, $5 to $10 here or there is all going to add up in the overall scope of the deal as well. Then these cups too, they go for like $30. Smith & Wesson cups. So that's also going to, this sells first, that pays for the whole deal. So, and then this Takugachi, which was an older one, 1997. So, and I bought and sold these. They're not crazy expensive. I'm going to test it, see if it works. Should work once I pop in new batteries, but about $15 for that guy. I thought this was kind of cool. I might keep this just because I visit the post office a lot. Postal, it's just a piggy bank. I gotta try to fix that without breaking it. So, and I got this little keychain there too as well. This is all from Lupe's table there, and I really try to always buy as much as I can from her just because she's really nice and she's really helped me out. And she's really hooked it up too with some great finds. A lot of Lego, like vintage Legos, vintage Star Wars Legos that I am able to put in my collection, like early 2000 stuff, brand new in the box. There was a Jabba the Hutt throne room that I got, like the original one, which was brand new in the box, and she gave it to me for like cheap, like $40. I'm not even gonna sell that. I'm gonna keep that. It's going to my collection. It goes for $250 to $300. And she just said, "Here, just take it." And I bought a bunch of other stuff from her, Legos and everything, and so really nice. Get to know everybody. If you go to flea markets, get to know the people there. They're trying to make money as well too, so you can't really knock them, or you can't really complain about the prices they're asking, because they're trying to make a living as well, and they're buying and selling just like I am, but I'm using eBay instead. And so a lot of them do sell on eBay as well, but it's easier for them just to take everything to a flea market where hundreds of people are going to come into that place and just start buying up stuff. So here's another one of these guys. These go pretty good, $20-$25 for that. So that's not bad. Although, is this guy? Oh no, I thought that arm was broken or something. So that'd be pretty cool. Cool sell. This is the camera bag. I haven't even looked it up, but it was only $1 for a Dakota. I don't know if Dakota's good or not. I'm not familiar with Dakota, but it was a good bag. It was clean. So I figured I'd go for at least $10 to $15 for $1. And this is a unique one. It is broken, but this is by Breyer, who makes Breyer horses. But this is a Breyer Mountain Goat, which if it was complete would go for $40 to $50. But it is rare enough to, I think, a broken piece. Hopefully, maybe $20 on that. But I got this for $1 too, so $1 there. And then the coach. You saw the coach in the video. And this is the coach, just a picture frame there, a used picture frame. It's acrylic or lucite in there. I don't think that comes out. Yeah, I guess it does come out. But there's that picture frame there. It's pretty cool. You just kind of slide, I think with this, you just kind of slide in your, it might be held together by magnets. Not really sure. I'll look it up. But this goes for like $30, so I'll definitely be able to sell that. And it comes with a box too, so that's even, when it comes with the box, even better. That, it's back in there. Okay. And then the TV thing, which I did test and works, and again goes for $30 to $35. I did have to clean up the, I cleaned up this little felt or whatever it is in there, just because it looked a little moldy. So I cleaned this up already and getting ready to sell. So it does work, and I think something's wrong with the tuner, so tuner doesn't quite work. But interesting device, pretty cool, and kind of heavy though, so it will be probably a 2-pounder. And one thing you didn't see me pick up, you didn't see me pick that up, you didn't see me get the controllers. I also got this little Lego set, $15, and it is the Lego Architecture. It is San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge. So I thought that was kind of cool, just because it's my local. Yeah, it's right. It's not too far from me, so I don't think. I'm hoping it's complete. It's complete and used. It goes for about $40 to $50, but it has some minifigures in here which don't go with this set. So I don't know. I'm hoping that everything's complete in here, but the minifigures don't go in there, so we will see. I will probably have my daughter or my son or somebody try to assemble that for me just to test that out. Otherwise, that's everything I got from the flea market. Good. I mean, it was a good day. It was a good day just to get some filler stuff for the store. You know, none of this stuff is incredibly high-end that I picked up this time, but it's all profit. It's all profitable items that will sell eventually, hopefully, in the store if you price it right as well, too. Items that people may or may not be looking for. Obviously, some vintage stuff. We got Coach. Coach is always a good brand to look out for. Star Wars is always a good brand to look out for. So, Breyer Horse. So, some great stuff. Great name brand stuff. You know, some vintage stuff. You know, stuff that you're just not going to find out there, you know, brand new or anything at the store. So, you're going to have to go secondhand to look for this stuff. Either way, guys, that's the video for today. Flea market trip. We'll get another flea market in next week. I'll try to go on Thursday. I'm off on Thursday, so I should be able to go. And Thursday is a pretty busy day, so you'll see a little more activity there. Otherwise, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys picking up? Did I miss anything? Take a look. You know, look. If you guys looked at the video, let me know what you guys see, and you know, help me out. And I hope I helped you guys out. Thumbs up and a subscribe.